Today is June 12th, 2024, and here are the babies today. It's the second day I've been feeding them, third day. So I'm going to try to do a video of them every day because they grow like little weeds. Here you can see, look at them move around. This one at the bottom is going to be a normal and is the oldest, of course. These two, see this one coming forward now, is going to be a Rosie. This one here is going to be a Rubino, which I will be keeping as a pet. This tiny one, I'm not sure. I'm hoping it's another Rosie and not another normal, because this little one here is a normal. They're growing really fast. I've only been feeding them 3 days. I believe it's 3 days when I brought them in. I brought them in day before yesterday. And they've just grown like I can't even believe how fast they grow. I haven't weighed them yet. I'm just guessing on the food from how much each feeding, because I've been feeding birds forever, for over 30 years, hand feeding. But I've got the scale out. Tomorrow I'll weigh them so I know how many grams they are, and then I'll know how many cc's to feed each one. Let's see, what's the other thing that I was going to say about them? Oh, the father died, the male. He was a Lutino, and he just, I don't know, in 3 days, he just, I don't know, went down. He died yesterday, and the only thing he wasn't a skeleton, and he wasn't like, it's not that he died from being, he was thin, but of course, that would, because of 2 clutches of babies and him trying to feed the female, the mom, and the babies and himself. But he wasn't thin enough for that, and he had nothing wrong. He's beautiful. He is absolutely gorgeous bird. Now I do not have any Lutino males left. I only have one decent female Lutino, because this combination of this male, which was the offspring of a Lutino male that I had, it was an offspring, and the female is an offspring from, she's a Rosie, from, I'm not sure which pair she came from, but they went from throwing the original pair, which was a Lutino and a Rosie, to throwing all Lutino males, to when I put this pair together, they're throwing all, they had been throwing all Lutino females and all, so far, Rubino males. Am I right? No, Rubino females. The normal, I had a normal from this pair, was it over 2 years ago? Not over 2 years ago, over 1 year ago. I had a male and I had a female. Their first clutch this season is a female, normal. They had, so anybody knows, I'll take a photo of them or video of them, the first clutch, which I had to bring in and feed, but they were much older. There was one normal female. There was one Rubino, I believe, female, one cream female, and that's right, two Rubino females. This one, of course, I don't know yet what these will be. So this is about it for today, what I was going to say about these. They're doing good. They are, if anybody's questioning, I keep them in a critter cottage when they're this little. And they are on a heating pad on low. But of course, that is also underneath the blanket that covers the critter cottage. And it's also, their container has about, I don't know, 3 inches of pine shavings. So it's just enough for them. Actually, when they were outside, she was off them when I'd go out there. I mean, all day long from morning, and I don't even know the last day or two if she went in back into the nest box when the male was not helping her feed. But it would be these little guys, it would be like 60 degrees, and they were doing fine in the nest box. They were keeping each other warm because I clean the nest box every other day, and they were doing fine, like they weren't cold. And then when I saw a problem with the male, I was checking the nest box every day to make sure they were okay. And then when I saw when the female was left now to try to feed them on her own, she wasn't keeping up with getting them all fed. I did put the 4 that I had in here from her first clutch in the cage with her today. And of course, it is quite surprising. She had them for I don't know how many weeks. They were difficult to feed because they had been with the parents for being fed by the parents. Put them back in the cage. It was like, oh, they were terrified of her. She was afraid of them. Even though they had been together, their eyes were open. Her and the male were feeding them. They were very hard for me to feed because they were used to the birds feeding them. And then they were freaking out when I put them in the cage. But they'll settle down. By tomorrow, they should be fine because I wanted her to have company. So she'll be with her kids now till she won't be paired up again the rest of this, not till next spring probably, or be just so she can start pairing with the new male. But at this point, there's no nest box on the cage now. I took it off, and she's just gonna be in the cage with her kids. So see how sweet these are. They've been fed. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. They're right now on 4 feedings a day, and that's why I have to weigh them. I keep increasing the cc's in the syringe as I see how fast they're emptying. But I need weights because, of course, you'd give the biggest one more and the little one less. But so far, they're doing okay. As you can see, they're going back to sleep. And I don't even have now the blanket over the top of the cage. Like, they're already getting so they're not afraid of anything, which is great. So there's nothing cuter than a hand-fed Bourke parakeet. They are the great, best little hand-fed pet birds, I think, just about you can have. So that's why I love them so much. Well, till tomorrow, this will be the end of this video. Be back tomorrow.